Good morning. I'm going to be making salsa today, and I'm going to do it. I'm kind of cheating on this a little bit. My garden didn't put out enough tomatoes and stuff, so I bought a number 10 can of diced tomatoes. It was a little over $3 for that, so not very expensive. And I've got 8 cups of them in there, and it calls for 10. And then I've got 2 more cups in here to add to the pot. I'm using Mrs. Wade's salsa mix because I added up, by the time I counted everything that I would put in salsa, it would really be expensive. And this is 2 something a package, and it's got everything in it, and it's safe if you follow the directions. You do not add anything that's not in this package. You don't add extra peppers or anything else because that will affect the acidity, the acid to non-acid ratio. So you want to keep with the package directions completely. Now I've got here, as far as high acid stuff, the tomatoes are fine. And this is lime juice. It calls for a half a cup of vinegar. I'm going to be using a half a cup of bottled lime juice. It's doubly acidic compared to vinegar, and it will lend me a better flavor that I like. There's my rings and lids ready to go. And the rest of my tools: a damp towel for wiping the rims, jar lifter, a ladle, a chopstick for debubbling, a funnel, my trusty bowl that I always use. When you make this, you put all the liquid in. You do not drain the liquid on this because that will impact your final volume results, and it will also impact the acidity. Got my jars in here getting hot. It's supposed to make 5 jars, 5 pints. So what I'm doing is I've got 5 pint jars and 1/2 pint, just in case there's a little bit over. So let's get started. Let me put the rest of my tomatoes in here. This is a non-reactive stainless steel pan. Now the directions say combine all of it and bring it to a boil, and then reduce the heat and simmer for 10 minutes. So let me get my lime juice in it. Let me open my packet and get it in there. Okay. And there's the salsa packet. This is a medium mix, so it should have enough heat that we like. I'm going to turn on the heat and get this started. Okay, I've got it in and stirred in. Now, if you want it hotter than this, do not add fresh peppers. You could add a little bit of ground red pepper, hot pepper, or a little bit of crushed red pepper. That dry spices do not impact the safety. But do not add more onions or more garlic or more fresh peppers or anything like that. Everything is in here. You can see the onion flakes in here and everything. It's all in here. It's everything you need. And you don't want to make it a dangerous product by adding fresh vegetables to it. Okay, the timer went off. So I'm going to turn the heat off of this, give it another little stir, and then start putting it in jars. Okay, it's boiling now. Stir a little bit. I'm going to turn the heat down so it will just simmer. I've got my timer set for 10 minutes. Okay, get out a nice hot jar. Start putting it in the jars. Well, this will be a 1/2 inch headspace. You see it's thickened up quite a bit. Get it down in there. Check my headspace. Maybe just a smidge more. Alright. Wipe the rim of the jar. Put on the lid. These are just clean and washed. They're not heated. You don't have to heat the lids. Screw that down. It's tight enough. Hard. And put that back over in the canner. And get another jar. Oh, that's got water in it. Always pour your water back in the canner because it needs it in there. And then do another one, and I'll bring you back when I get them full. Okay, I've got my jars in the canner. Wound up with 5.5 pints of salsa. You can only can pints or smaller. There are no tested recipes for canning salsa in quarts. So stick with that rule, okay? Now, what I'll be waiting on now is for, well, as you know, the steam to come out of this hole. And after it's fully vented, then look for the temperature gauge to get up here into the dark green area. And I'll begin my timing. Time for canning this is 40 minutes. And that's about pretty close to the upper edge of what these canners can accomplish. 45 minutes or less at your elevation. Okay, we've got plenty of steam coming out through here. And the indicator is in the dark green area, so I've started my timer for 40 minutes. You can actually turn this down a little bit as long as it remains at a boil and the indicator remains in this area up here. So I'm going to do that just in case I've got my water too low in there or something. Just a little. You can do that with water bath canning too. It doesn't have to be at a full steam rolling boil the whole time, as long as it's boiling some when you turn it down. Excuse the dirty stove. Okay, 10 minutes is up. Take the lid off. You might hear them start popping right away. Kind of got a breeze through here. I hope it's not too much for them. Anyway, there you go. 5 pints and 1/2 pint of salsa made from the Mrs. Wage's seasoning packet. Now, I don't usually use seasoning packets, but considering that my tomatoes and stuff didn't do very well, and I would have had to buy all the ingredients, it was going to cost me a lot. This way, I might have $1 a jar put into it. But anyway, there you go. Now that was debubbled. It's just not showing it right now because it was boiling. But there you go. Nice chunky salsa. Hope this helps. Okay, the timer's gone off. Now I'm going to let the jars sit in here with the heat turned off for 10 minutes.